Okay, so today we are going to have a short rundown of how I make anime environments in Blender. First order of business, I block out the entire scene. I have mentioned this before, but I cannot stress how much this helps the final product. In this stage of your project, you model the base layout of your scene using mere cubes and spheres, then station your camera appropriately and slowly add more detail. This helps so much because if you first modeled everything, then laid out your scene afterwards, you might find certain parts do not match or fit or things like that, and you'd have to painstakingly edit it. Whilst here is just a simple cube that you're moving around, so you'd be able to edit it as much as you want. Make sure, especially if you're a beginner, to always have a reference. This is my second year of making anime environments and I still prefer using references, because at the end of the day, I'm still learning and anime environment artists are super good at what they do, so it's always good to use their works as inspiration. Okay, so that's the blockout stage. I then follow that up with modeling most objects in the scenes, like the big things, not the small finer details. The fine details I like to add after I make the base textures so I can see how the small details affect the project. Okay, phase 2. The second phase would be lighting the scene up with our primary lights, which would be influencing where our shadows would be facing and so on. So our main lights of the scene. In exterior environments, I like to use a sun lamp, but when it's indoors with no view of the outside world, as in the scene, I use area lamps, sometimes point lights as well. After this, I start the base shaders of all the large objects. Remember, the base shader is not how the final shader or texture will look. It's okay if it does not meld together with everything, because it's like the first coating of paint on your wall. If you try to perfectly shade one object before moving on to another, you're going to waste a lot of time and you'll still have to edit it once everything is done. So I recommend making a base texture for everything first and then afterwards editing it. After the base textures are made, I begin phase 3, which is modeling the detailed parts of the environment. In this case, I modeled the books in the shelves and so on. I also add lights where I think they could work, and I then update all the base textures and finish shading all the new objects as well. This is my favorite part of making an environment so far, since everything is already filled in and now you just need to make it look nice, make it look pretty. And that was a very short rundown of how I make my anime environments. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of tutorial. It's kind of new to me. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, thanks to everyone supporting me on the Patreon, especially those on the Golden and Diamond Spoon tier list. The new Anime Nature Course tutorials should be out by now, and more are on their way, inshallah. Alright, that's enough for me. See you in the next tutorial. Alright, bye.